Good afternoon. I'm back and here to talk to you about thinking outside of the box. And a little while ago, I invited you to come on here and be part of this, to have a conversation with me around thinking outside of the box and what you could have by doing that and what it would take. And so until somebody does come on here and say something, I'll talk about my experience of thinking outside of the box. So what is thinking outside of the box? For me, it's getting outside of the ego, because our thoughts they live in the ego structure. So consider that, what if the box is your thoughts? It is. Our thoughts are what prevent us from creating what we want, our fear-based thoughts. And so we tend to live in that box because it feels familiar, it feels safe, feels comfortable, and it doesn't beg that we do anything different. So we stay within that framework of what we believe we know is true, what we think is right. And like I said, it prevents us from possibilities, from expanding our experience of life, period. And what do you think it is that keeps you, hi dog, what do you think it is that keeps you inside the box? What do you think, Doug? What is it that has you stay within the egoic structure of your mind? Pressure's on you, Doug, because you're the only one on here. Okay, fine, so I'll answer. So it's fear. Fear is what drives us because we are afraid of the unknown. We are afraid of new experiences. And so we fill up our mind with thoughts that we think are true, that will protect us, that will keep us safe, that will have us feeling right. And so, like I said, that's all fear. So in order to live outside of the box, you've got to be able to shift from fear to fearlessness. And how do you do that? So the only way to do that is by allowing yourself to feel the fear, because that's what it is that's driving your thoughts, and vice versa. So I made this contraption quite some time ago, and I shared it at all my seminars, and I hope you guys like it. So this is a jar with dirt at the bottom, of course, and water. And so I want you to consider that each molecule of dirt is one of your thoughts, okay? Doesn't mean they're bad or right or wrong, but the dirt is your thoughts, okay? 99% of the time, I made that statistic up, but I bet it's pretty accurate. Most of the time, this is our mind. Our thoughts are all over the place, right? We're moving, we're changing our thoughts, we're telling ourselves a gazillion different things. So if this is the case, if this is your brain, how can you see anything different? This is the box, living in these thoughts, allowing them to drive you and create the movement in your life that's perhaps not working for you. So what do you think is required to see something different? So you notice that I stop. And as this will settle, hopefully I probably won't have enough time to show you later, but you'll notice what it looked like at the beginning. There was clarity because those thoughts had settled. So my point here is that in order to think outside of the box, you can't be in that constant state of craziness, monkey mind. You've got to be able to bring yourself to stillness. Because in the stillness, you're allowing those thoughts to rest, like just float down to the ground, kind of like snowflakes. And as you do that, that's where the opportunities arise. And I've worked with so many people around becoming still. And there's so much resistance around that because it seems that our society hasn't placed much value on stillness and quiet. But look at how it's working not to. Okay, so you can look at it now. It's starting to become a little more clear. So that's kind of a metaphor. So the longer we are in stillness, the longer we can access what's outside of the box. So I was talking about fear. So tell me what you guys are thinking. You're watching. I want to hear what you're thinking about being outside of the box. So let me give you one example. I mean, we all have gazillions of examples of how we tend to live inside of the box. So I've been doing this kind of personal growth work for years, quite some time. And obviously, if you can't tell, I love doing this work. But for the longest time, I had this passion to lead my own workshops, to finally step outside of the box and share my message to the world, because I knew it was needed. I knew that it would be received. But I kept myself inside the box for years, actually. And what kept me inside that box, the egoic structure, was my fear of, oh, it's not going to be good enough. What if it's not a success? What if it doesn't make an impact? What if I'm going to look stupid? So I continue to tell myself all of these fearful thoughts that kept me stuck in myself. And I mean, the reality is I was making it about me until I decided to really quit pushing that fear down and feel it. Paul says, Lao Tzu would appreciate your sentiments on stillness, even the muddiest waters, clear when stilled. Yeah. So look at you guys. It's starting. Well, you probably can't see. Anyway. Okay, so where was I? Talking about my workshop. Until I finally decided to get out of my own way, because I was making it about me, and look and see what I needed to do to step outside of the box. And the first step was to really feel that fear. And I was allowed to really notice how that was blocking me. It was paralyzing me from what I felt most passionate about. And so, of course, with the help of a coach, I decided to feel my fear and do it anyway. And I did. I think this was about 4 years ago that I started my Fearless Living 2-day immersion. And the crazy rewards that I've received in other people has been just like off the charts. I've shared my message. Lives have been changed. The workshop has touched hundreds of people's lives that will now tell you that it was the most powerful weekend of their life. So my point is that I could have stayed inside the box, stayed, playing small so that I wouldn't be judged or that I wouldn't look stupid or for fear of failing. I could have still been in that space inside of that egoic structure that had me feeling familiar, the small me, or I could step outside of it. That's not to say that, okay, so I've done my Fearless Living workshop for I don't know how many times I've done it. Not to say that the fear doesn't still show up. It showed up. So the next big fear that showed up for me was around writing the book. That was a huge thing that kept me inside the box. I'm not a writer. I hate writing, blah, 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 blah. Until I did. So inside of the box is more the same. The same old will continue. Inside the box is where you're making it about you. You're denying the world of your passion, of your gifts, of your message. Inside of the box paralyzes you. It has you feeling you don't have that sense of confidence. Outside of the box, guess what? It's dang scary, but fear is the same exact physiological response as excitement. The only difference is the perspective. So stepping outside of the box means you've got the willingness to see fear, to perceive fear as something different. Fear is your best friend, your motivator, and your fear can be shifted into being a contribution in ways that maybe you never imagined. And don't you think it's time to stop telling yourself, I'm not that important, I won't make a difference? Don't you think now is the time to show up powerfully, to help serve the world, to create more peace and passion and joy? Like, it's so time. Let it be scary, but you're not going to die. I don't think you will. Okay, so you're thinking, okay, so how do I do that? Duh, Fearless Living. I really should have my act together, but I don't, you guys. I don't have it on my on my website for the next one, but it's probably going to be it will be either in January or February of next year. Fearless Living is a 2-day crazy awesome immersion into your internal world that will have you identifying your fear and feeling it and using it. You get to let go of it using you, and you get to use it so that you can feel more on purpose than you ever imagined. So yeah, stay tuned, and I'll post more about that when I get my act together. So, any questions, comments about thinking outside of the box? Hi, Donna. So let me ask you guys, how can you think outside the box today? What's one thing you will do? Because everybody has fears, right? Everybody has areas of their life that they're nervous or resistant to moving forward. That resistance is also inside of the box. Resistance is fear. And the antidote to resistance is acceptance. Maybe that needs to be my next new topic. Hi, Donna. Donna, what are you going to do today to step outside of the box? What will you do different to shine your light even brighter than you already have? This is not just to Donna. This is to everybody. Because shining our light can be really scary. I know it has been for me. Because when you do, you'll be judged. Some people will feel threatened by you. You'll be made wrong. Some might turn against you. But guess what? They're judging you anyway. Okay, here's my thing. Let's see if you can see how it's settled. See how it's beginning to settle? This is what happens in stillness. We allow those thoughts to rest. We never get rid of the thoughts. They're not there to eliminate them. But we allow them to settle. And in that settling is the opportunity for clarity, for possibilities, for purpose. And I'm probably talking too long. So Fearless Living 2017. Watch for more info, okay? Thanks for being on, you guys. Bye.